Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and this is a repeat customer. I've been here, I think, maybe half a dozen times. The carpet's pretty old and is showing a fair amount of degradation wear-wise, but it cleans up well and it stays clean. It's probably a triexta again, I guess, because it has stood up. It is a pretty soft carpet, but yet it stood up pretty well considering. I think they rent out rooms here. What do they call that? I always forget what you call it. Oh, and it goes out of my mind whenever I start thinking about it. But anyway, so now, although it looks really clean, and it is really overall, there was quite a number of kind of not really obvious black stains over here, 3 or 4, and then 1 or 2 over here, and then a couple more over here. So my initial thought when I was vacuuming was that I would just use a single step, probably with a green stripe rayon, but then, let's see, over on the other side of the bed, I think there was, on this side of the other side of this bed, there was a series of little spots too. Not really obvious, but what I've learned over the years is that whenever I got stains, the best thing to do is run over the carpet first with a fiber pad, and in this case, the hog's hair is definitely, in my experience, the better option. Although you can do it with a white one or a red one or the Aqua Neptune one or whatever. Because what will happen is that going over it with a fiber pad is when you'll see the most dramatic change and the most rapid change of the appearance of the carpet, because of the bristles or the fibers of the fiber pad really remove the stains most effectively and rapidly. And then you go over it after that with your extraction pad of choice, whether it be a fiber, microfiber, or an Iron Man, or a green stripe, or whatever you like. But the most dramatic difference on the carpet will occur with this fiber pad. So I'm going to go over this area. So I don't need to go over all the carpet with the fiber pad, so I'm not going to go over the area where I'm actually standing right now, because I don't think anyone's ever walked there. But the traffic area, the highway as it were, that goes over to the door over there, and of course over to the couch, I'll run over those areas. And I know that there was a few spots over here. And usually what will happen, so when I pre-vacuum, which I already did, of course, I'm always looking on the carpet for anything that might be a concern, and I'm going to treat it. And my preferred treatment is, of course, the Suspend pre-spray, which is a surfactant, which means it lowers the surface tension. And the way it works, I guess I've explained this in the past, but think of soil molecules as, just say for example, you have 4 basketballs, and you put them down on the floor in front of you. Well, if you take a 5th basketball and you try to push that basketball, the 5th one, into the middle of the 4 basketballs without moving the other basketballs, you're not going to be able to do it because it just won't fit. But the way that detergency works is the detergents are smaller in size than the molecular size of the soil. And a stain, for the most part, is basically the molecules of the stain are the same size or even smaller than the molecule of the detergent. So if you want to break up the basketballs without moving them, you take a golf ball and you just put it on the floor beside them and you just roll it in between, because there is enough space between the basketballs, on the circumference, where the golf ball would easily fit between. And once the golf ball or the detergent of your surfactant or emulsifier gets between the basketballs or the detergent molecules, then it disrupts the molecular integrity and it basically falls apart. And then it can be emulsified or lifted into suspension, which is how the emulsifier, which is what's in the tank here, works. Holds it in suspension, and then you can draw it out of the carpet. And in this case, we're using the soil extraction transfer technology, which is an absorbent pad, which then will absorb and draw that emulsified soil into the pad. So, hope that makes sense. It's actually, that's a very simplistic way of explaining it, because there are other factors that can come into play. And one of the things is anything oily, for example, is going to be a little bit more tricky to deal with. But in most cases, most of your surfactant, which is the surface tension lowering aspect of your cleaner, is going to break down the oil. The bond with oil molecules is a little different. There's van der Waals force. That's what I was thinking of. And what is van der Waals force? How does that work? Well, how it works by, for example, if you drop some water onto a countertop, little droplets of water, you look at it, you get down close and look at it, you'll see that the water has a kind of a dome shape. It's not actually flat on the countertop, but it looks like a bubble of water. The reason it's got a bubble of water is because the tension holds the water molecules together. But if you put a little drop of, well, here's an example. Say you have a bug and you decide you're going to throw it into the sink. There's water in the sink. Or you find one in the toilet. We have, of course, who hasn't found that? Well, if you take some detergent and you put some detergent into that water, that bug, which was floating pretty quickly in almost every case, will then sink. And the reason is because the water tension will be holding the bug up. As soon as the water tension disappears, then the bug would sink. There's a bug that I don't know if everybody knows about these bugs wherever you are, but the water strider, which is a little bug that actually you find on ponds, places like that, and they skate about on top of the water. They got long legs and they have like pads on their feet, and they run around, as it were, on the surface of the water. They're really quite amazing to see. But if you put some oil in the water, that will lower the surface tension as well as what else will do it now? I'm thinking I'm thinking Teflon. No, that's not it. What's that other oh, I can't remember what it is now. But anyway, there are certain things that will lower the surface tension, and once the surface tension is lowered, then the poor little bug would sink into the water and drown. So, what we're trying to do when we clean a carpet is we're trying to lower the surface tension so that the soil, which is bonded to the carpet fiber with van der Waals force, I guess Mr. van der Waals invented that when he discovered it. So basically, once you lower the surface tension, then you can emulsify and lift the soil into suspension, and so that's what we're actually doing. So there you go, a little bit of sciencey kind of stuff. That's pretty much all I know. But it's really quite simple stuff, actually. So anyway, if you notice, I did switch. I switched over to I got an Ironman on here now. And the Ironman pad is a great pad. I like it very much. Definitely recommend Ironman pads. Made by Bonapro. You can see I'm getting right up along the edge. The pad is going literally against the wall right there, or against the door frame. No problem at all. Of course, I didn't go behind here with the fabric pad because nobody's walked back here. Okay, now we'll go over here. I will be cleaning the steps, of course, before we're done. I'm going to switch my power source. And for those of you who might be watching and not know why I have that little disc there, that's actually a deflector, because my machine is a center feed, and as I feed down, particularly with the fiber pad, I want to deflect it out a little bit from the center. Otherwise I would have a kind of a concentrated stream onto the carpet, and I don't want that. You can see that's looking pretty soiled there. That's a brand new pad, by the way. Now the only area that really well, this area right here in the hallway over to the bathroom was showing a fairly obvious, well, partly wear, but a little bit of soiling going on over here too. So I did already pre-treat this area with with the trigger sprayer with the suspend. Okay, we're going to head this away. It's you know, here we are getting near the end of May, and when I got here to my customer's house, I noticed that they had the fireplace on upstairs, and I actually had turned their furnace on in the house last night. It's that cold, really unusually cold this year, and it just has not warmed up. We've had a few days of sunshine, but then it just goes right back to cold and wind, and just lots of wind this year, way more than I've ever remembered in 30 years here in the Okanagan. So anyway, there were some spots just up here, so I pre-treated them. You can't see them because the suspend sort of, I guess it kind of dissolves them away a little bit, so I'm just going to go a little bit slower right here, make sure I get extra scrubbing happening right where those marks were. It does look like they're completely out. Okay, over this way. And they didn't want me to move the beds, which is fine. And so what I do is when I measure the room, I measure the area I'm cleaning. I don't charge for the area under the bed because I'm square foot rate, and my price is including everything: sanitizing, deodorizing, an anti-allergen treatment, and a protector as well. We had a good rain last night as well. Actually, it was raining this morning. Actually, it was raining so much we didn't take our little doggies out for their walk, much to their disappointment, but they wouldn't have wanted to go as soon as they realized how much. But it was raining pretty good, actually. Okay, now I think I see a mark right there. Maybe I got it. Okay. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of junk in here. Okay, we're going to go back and switch over to the Iron Man. Yeah, there's yeah, you can see there's fibers and stuff it's picking up. All right. Okay. Silicone. Oh, silicone. That's what I was trying to remember. Oh, okay. So silicone actually is a very effective. Will lower the surface tension very dramatically. Just so you know. It's kind of funny. I kept thinking it's something to do. There's like a caulking, silicone caulking, and I kept thinking, why do I keep thinking of a caulking? Anyway, yeah, that's it, silicone. Back to the where I was talking about the surface tension. In fact, I think that a lot of the defoamers are actually silicone, liquid silicone, I believe. And yeah, so it lowers the surface tension of the foam and turns it into liquid too. So yeah, there you go. So if you've got a foam, you put silicone in there, it basically is turning it. The foam can no longer sort of it can't form the bubbles anymore. It breaks down into the liquid state. So that's anyway. There you go. So there we are. I'm not adding any solution, by the way, with this because I think I'm plenty wet enough with the when I was applying with the fiber pad. We'll head down this way. And of course, you know, as I'm doing these kind of jobs and you've been watching me, I'm not in a hurry. Yeah, you don't need to be in a hurry. You shouldn't be in a hurry. Just take your time and let the equipment, you know, do what it does. And the focus should always be on the quality of your job, not on how speedy you are. If someone's always bragging to you about how they're faster than everybody else, well, you can pretty much know that they're not going to be able to do a very good job. You can't be the speedy guy, and really actually be good at what you're doing. You're always going to be cutting corners and going over the carpet minimal amount to get the results. I'd rather go over the carpet an extra, even 1 or 2 times, well, at least in the areas that are really obviously soiled, and just to make sure my customers expect that. Now, if I was, you know, just doing empty apartments all the time, then they wouldn't care. But anyway, I still take my time, even when I do those jobs. You never know. The person that you think is kind of a, you know, low-end customer one day you might go to a house and they open the door and it's a beautiful house and they're doing really well financially and everything, and they go, yeah, you used to clean my carpets when when I was on welfare 10 years ago, and things were really hard for me, but since then things have really turned around, and we've got this beautiful house, and I've been really blessed and everything, and I decided when I wanted to get my carpet cleaned, I knew who I was going to call. That guy that did an outstanding job for me when I was in that cheap little rental. Whatever we do, we should always do our best at it. That's a good way to go through life, I think. So if someone's telling you to cut corners and omit steps just to be faster, well, that's not good advice. At least I don't think so. You see I can go right along the wall without any problem at all. Literally touching the baseboard as I go. What a easy thing to do. No problem at all. So I did, if you notice, I went over that area right beside the bed. Again, just by moving forward and then just backing my way out and overlapping. One extra pass does not hurt. Not in a hurry. Okay, now we'll go over here and we'll stop. We'll take a look at the pad, and then I gotta do the steps. Let's have a look at the pad though. Oh, and of course I'm using my normal Nanomax mix, by the way. 2 ounces per gallon. Well, that's actually pretty soiled. Not terrible, but it needed a clean. Okay, so I'll let you go. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.